Hi, I just want to do a basic video of how I lay out my projects. This is just a random one I pulled out from my archive. It's called Cyberstamachi, and it is one I was recently uploading to another website, so I might as well just bring it up. Okay, so basically these are all my tracks here. Not too many. We have a total of 26. What I like to do is create stack tracks. So here I have my synths, and under synths there's two different one mains, which is, looks like it's just chords, and that's L20 means it's a left 20. So let's see here. There it is, left 20. And it's using the towel, this guy here, for the sound, the towel LX. Okay, for the right side, it is something that was bounced down because it's not a MIDI file, and they're pads. And that is a right 20. Okay, so that's it for the synths. Then we're moving on to the basses. Sometimes I like to use many basses, and here I was using 3 actually, which is kind of intense, but I guess it worked for the song. First is called bass heavy. I don't hear anything. Okay. So it's a droning bass. We have ARP bass. Arpeggiated bass, and these are all mid, right in the middle. By the way, you should always mix your basses right in the middle, and that's also with a towel. Wow, I'm using a lot of plugins without bouncing down. This was a very CPU heavy project. I haven't visited this in a while, so it's pretty crazy to see how I've changed since then, but it's interesting. Here's my favorite Taurus pedal type sound, Taurus moon bass. Now, so I'm using it with the ARP bass together. So it's a little complicated, but I guess it worked for the track. So that covers my basses. There's 3 basses there. This green line, by the way, sorry I'm jumping all over the place, is automation for the cutoff. So you get that cool filter sweep. See it going down? Okay, that's it for the basses. I could go on forever with that. Here are the leads. That's its own category. And for the leads, we have 2. We have a poly lead and broken. That's interesting. So that's the broken, but it's not so broken sounding. I fixed it so it's more stable sounding. Here's the poly lead. So that's basically the lead sound with a lot of release on it. So the release is very slow. It's very popular in synthwave music. Definitely a very slow release on all the synthesizers, or some of them. Okay, let's move on. That was the leads. Move on to the drums, which I tend to spend the most amount of time on because drums are the hardest to get right after you have your melodies and everything. So drums are fairly complicated. We have orchestral hit, which is not very often. This one right here. Let's hear it here. Okay, it's just what do you call those? Rototoms. The rototoms. Okay, those are rototoms, which are not used often. We have a snare here. Cool, a heavy reverb snare. There it is with, let me guess, the gated reverb. 1.24 seconds gated reverb. Okay, awesome. Then we have real drums, which is bounced down from the native instruments that I like to use so much. Here we go. Pretty cool drum beat. So it's bounced down because it's very CPU heavy. Cool. Then we have the kick. heavy kicks to back up what's going on with the real drums to make it more heavy sounding. Then we have claps left and right. Just a little detail to embellish it a little bit. Then we have something called percussion, which doesn't show up till later on over here. That's actually an effect sound. I don't know why I have that there, but that's cool. Sometimes I stick things where they don't belong. And then we have hi-hats, left and right, pan 30, which I do from time to time. Let's hear how those sound. Pretty cool. Panning left and right. I don't know if you can hear it because I'm using the internal mic for my voice here, but it sounds pretty cool. And that is basically it. I could go into more detail, but that's the track. I guess I could go into my mastering chain. Maybe I should leave that for another video. But anyway, the very last thing, after I bounce things down, what my style is to take all the MIDI tracks that are not being used and I stick them at the very bottom and then I mute them. I stick them onto audio tracks, then I mute them. If I ever need to go back for the original MIDI to build something, then I'll go here. But I always named it EM. EM, for myself, it stands for empty MIDI. So these are all empty MIDI. This should also be called empty MIDI because it's empty MIDI. It somehow got named the wrong thing. I'll just readjust that. EM. So all these EMs are empty MIDIs that can be revisited, but they're just sitting here as dummies for now. If I ever need to like bring something back, you can see how complicated they are, chords and basses and leads. So usually I don't go back, but you never know when you need to go back. Okay, that's how I basically lay out all my tracks. The next video I'll go through my mastering chain, which is a whole different topic and too complicated for this video. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.